Throwback 105.3, Columbus is Throwback. You riding home with your homie Justin Love and my dog Jimmy Bell's tapping in. What up, bro?
What's up, JLuvv, aka J Fuchsia,
So,
aka Pretty Shirt,
okay,
aka Red Nose,
okay.
aka Flower Bomb.
Why the flower bomb, bro? Like, you mad at a guy that can wear rare flowers and you can't? Okay, all right,
Nah, bro,
bet.
listen, I think you're cute, buddy. Listen, I think it's cute.
Okay, well, as long as my wife does, that's all we need to know. Look, and by the way, we're on the radio, so I know you can't see us. I'm wearing a shirt with flowers on it, and I'm okay with it. And so there's that. All right, bet. Moving on.
No, I think he's wearing a flower as a shirt. That's like, let's be very clear, radio.
It's one old flower.
He has a flower bed on. Like, let's be very clear. A shirt with flowers on it is different than he got a flower. Like, listen.
Jimmy just said I'm wearing plants. Okay, all right. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it.
Look, no, hey, radio. He looks great. He looks great, radio.
Yeah, thank you. All right, look, the Buckeyes shut out the Broncos last weekend, 56-0. JB had a 55-10. JLuvv knocked it out of the park with the 56. Bam.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I was 55-6.
I have 55-10.
I didn't say 10. I don't have 10. You wrote it down wrong. That's that dyslexia. Yeah. Dyslexia.
You saying that's the flowers messing with my brain?
Flower lexia, that bumblebee pollen stuff. Now your score was what? Your score was what?
My score is 56-10.
That's not bad, bro. That's actually, that's yours. Mine wasn't 10. Mine was 55. Yeah, mine was Mine was 56-6. Right. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Absolutely.
All right,
it was 56-6.
All right, we'll do the instant replay.
I'll give us a tie.
All right, I'm gonna challenge that. I'm gonna throw the flag and challenge that. So we'll go back and look at the instant replay.
We will, because I thought they would do 2 field goals. And I don't know where the 10 came from. That was you. You were making that up. You were playing basketball. You were playing horse or something.
I was playing horse.
This is football season, bro.
Off the rim, off the backboard, right. Nothing but net.
Right. That 55 was crazy. No, your 56 was crazy. That was dead on, bro.
Yeah, that was dope. That wild. And my son Princeton had 60-12, so he wasn't far off either.
No, Princeton was way off. He's whack. Get out of here, buddy. Get yourself together.
Better leave my son alone. His dad rocks flower shirts.
I forgot Preston. I'm thinking of somebody calling it. My bad, Preston. Preston definitely was off. He was excited.
You better leave my son alone. His dad wears flower shirts. Look, man.
Flower bombs.
So look, we talked about picking one player from Western Michigan who showed out last week. Who do you got?
No one. I didn't have a single solitary player, possibly because I forgot to do it. But
that's funny.
But no one, like, listen, bro. The Buckeyes, and I know we're talking about this player, but I'm giving you the reasoning why.
Okay.
The Buckeyes gave is a solid performance as was expected, and they gave about as solid of a performance as they should have given. Again, I at the minimum thought that Western Michigan would get a field goal and then maybe a late field goal when the second team got in. But they held them to under 100 yards total offense.
That's crazy. Wow.
That's absolutely nuts. That's
crazy.
The Buckeyes had over 600 something yards total offense.
And we got to see number 0 back in the game too, man. That was really dope to see him back in there.
Yeah, man. So it was such a dominating performance that literally no one in the Western Michigan house had an opportunity to do anything. There was nothing there. Yeah. Who did you have?
So I thought maybe an offensive player because they had that's funny. They had a drive that almost got them a field goal, but they missed the field goal, of course. So instead of doing that, I just decided I'm going to look and see what Western Michigan said about it. And on their site, they highlighted linebacker Donald Willis, who led the team with 11 tackles. So,
Lord,
Look, bro, I didn't really have anybody either, so I'm like, let me go see what they said about the game, and that's
Hey,
who
bro.
they highlighted was their linebacker who had 11 tackles.
Hey, Jay, that was a great listen, bro. That was very intelligent of you. You don't have many of those.
Yeah.
Very, very intelligent. Because again, they didn't have anybody. But the crazy part about it, if your linebacker, now your linebacker's supposed to have a lot of tackles.
Uh-huh.
But if your linebacker has 11 tackles in a 50-something to nothing blowout, that means he was the only one tackling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
you look at the stats, he probably has 11 and everyone else probably has like onesies and twosies.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it
And
makes
that's
sense, right?
yeah, and again, I know we're talking about Western Michigan and we're trying to give them some love, but it goes to the dominance of the totality of what happened.
Well, we think about what happened before they came into the shoe, though. I think Wisconsin. They gave Wisconsin a run for their money the week before. So, I mean, they didn't come in here looking like slouches. You know what I mean? They came in here looking like they were going to do a little something, give us a little something to work with.
Yeah, and they would have had to, and that's why the score. I think I went. When I said my 55, that's the reason and why I didn't think that there would be a lot of possessions.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that they would have more possessions. They only ran for like 48 plays, if I'm not mistaken, to the Buckeyes 72 plays, which is an
Yeah, that sounds about right.
incredible disparity. They had the ball for 24 minutes on offense. So
Yeah.
I thought that would be in the arena, but I also thought that they would hold the Buckeyes a little more. The game that would have been successful would have been a little bit more of what they did in the Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows you what the Buckeyes are capable of when they put everything together.
Let me tell you, speaking of Buckeyes putting stuff together, Judkins did his thing. Judkins showed out like we expect he would. Bro, I don't know how long the play was. At least 40-yard run that he had, that 40-yard touchdown run that got called back for a penalty.
Oh, it's longer than that. Yeah.
Was it longer than that? Yeah, I know it was at least 40. Talk to me about, just from your experience, when you have a play that is so amazing, but yet gets negated by one penalty. Like, how does that make the team feel? Like, are y'all able to kind of get over that quickly, or is that, it's obviously per individual, but like, what goes through the minds of the guys on the field when something like that happens?
Great question. There's always that damn moment, right? Like
right.
It's super quick, but
right.
then you got to forget about it. Not to mention, you got to forget about it because it affects everybody if you don't. Right. Even
okay.
One thing they talked about, I think somebody mentioned, and he didn't do a good job last week, but they talked about how Shedeur Sanders has been getting so much pressure and beat up the past 2 years. But they said something. They said he's never complained. They said he's never shown an attitude towards the offensive lineman. Well, you got to think about it. If you do, you don't know how it's going to affect the other players. You don't know how it's going to affect the team. So you're allowed that little quick, damn moment. And then, a lot of times, if say it's an offensive lineman, or so that one in the event was a wide receiver, and it was a very specific wide receiver, and it was very specific that they showed his hold, you actually go up to him and you pat him on the butt and be like, "Hey, bro, good job. It's all good. Don't even sweat it." You see what I'm saying? So you got to keep going, because it won't just affect you. It'll affect the team. It'll affect that player. It has the ability to affect the whole game.
Yeah,
great question.
That makes a lot of sense. Thoughts on Will Howard?
I thought he was solid. I think he's going to be. I'm telling you, we talked about that. One of the biggest. He came on. Think about this. Will came on taking advantage of the opportunity Ohio State gave him, and in my opinion, he would have looked like the second coming of what Kyle would have looked like, with more maturity and a little bit more athletic ability. When we got Chip Kelly, this phone keep blowing up. When we got Chip Kelly in the mix, I mean, he must have thought that the Lord Christ himself was looking down, beaming hot beams on him, because the Chip Kelly system, it's perfect for a quarterback like Will Howard. And we saw what that solidness looked like, right? He I think he was like 18 for 20 something passing, 200 and something, 260 something yards. He looked super solid. He got the ball into the hands of the playmakers. You had a Buka, you had Emeka with, I think, 60 something yards, and then you got Smith with over 100 yards. Right, he got the balls to who they were supposed to go to. You know, Will is a very solid quarterback, and with the addition of Chip Kelly, this is what we're going to see. We're going to see more of this. Now, listen, there's going to be some times when we're going to need him to make that play, to make something out of nothing. But right now, we don't need him to. As long as he continues on this trajectory, I'm telling you, there's going to be a couple games that he's going to have to show like he's totally taken over this thing, but he's going to end up in that Heisman Trophy room.
Yeah, he's 18 and 26 is right. He's 18 and 26, non-conference, 35 of 54.
How many rushing yards did he have?
That I don't see.
I look it up right here. Well, he only rushed once. He rushed one time for 6 yards, and that was the touchdown. So he didn't even need it. So he was solid. He was clean. I do think Western Michigan had 2 sacks. I don't remember seeing those sacks.
Really? I don't either.
I don't remember seeing those sacks, but when I was doing my research, I did see that number 8, Wahlberg had a sack, and Corey Walker, defensive lineman for sure, had a sack. So other than that, and I don't know what those look like. You know what I'm saying? He may have been running towards the line and didn't get past the line of scrimmage. That's actually a sack if you don't get past the line of scrimmage, even if you're running as a quarterback. But I didn't see anything. He didn't look like he looked like he had time. He didn't look like he was under pressure. He looked smooth. He looked calm. He looked confident in what Chip wanted him to do.
Yeah. I totally agree. I don't remember those sacks at all. That must have been towards the end of the game or something, man. Because talk to me about the center. I don't know. Well, no, let me go back to this. I think it was who was it? Matt Wilhelm earlier this week. He was talking about Will Howard. He was talking about how kind of what we talked about a few weeks ago, how he didn't really flourish here, but yet now he's doing his thing in Syracuse. Not Will Howard. I'm sorry. Kyle McCord. Yeah, Matt had mentioned that Kyle was not doing well here, doing his thing now in Syracuse because he also felt what you felt, where he just wasn't welcome here for some reason or another. And but he also talked about how there's 2 different kind of systems that they're doing in Syracuse and that Chip Kelly has. Is that something you've noticed too?
Oh, most certainly. I don't think Kyle would have fit in Chip Kelly's system at all. But we got to remember, Chip came late. You see what I'm saying? So the other part of what Matt was talking about is totally true. He wasn't welcome. It was so obvious that.
But why?
I'm not saying.
But why? Why was he not welcome?
Because people are human, right? You don't have to always like the people that are in front of you. Think about. Just take it to the NFL real quick. Last year, Russell Wilson with Sean Payton. Sean Payton showed himself to be a disgusting human being towards Russell. Russell's one of the good guys, and he treated him like poop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
So he chose just not to like him, generally because it's not his guy. Right. But the guy he did pick, he's not doing no better than what Russ did last year.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So from the beginning, in my opinion, you could tell, and you can go back and look at media, Facebook, everything. I said, I don't think Ryan Day believes that Kyle's his guy. He doesn't like Kyle for whatever reason. He's not his style. He's not his guy. He's not his type of player. So he never made him feel welcome. Kyle was the obvious best quarterback option we had, and they never rallied around him. It was almost as if he's not good enough. Someone else has the ability to be better. And when it came into the bowl game and otherwise, we saw that that's not the case. Kyle was a solid college quarterback last year in his first time starting as a first time starting. Now you're seeing what happens in a system when someone trusts you. You actually have more maturity because you've grown up. You're actually more of an adult because you've grown up. And now you're getting that solid opportunity where everyone around you trusts you to do your job. That's what it looks like. So Matt is totally true. It's not a system thing. Now, even though I believe that he doesn't fit necessarily in Chip's system, they treated him this way before Chip got there, right? Chip came late.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow.
We don't know what we don't know what Will Howard would look like if Chip wasn't there right now.
That's true. Yeah.
It's a totally different offense.
Yeah, that's true. All right, man. Well, we got an off week this week, so when we tap in at 5:30, we're gonna talk about what's coming up this week. All right?
No doubt.
And part 2. You're riding home with your homie Justin Luvv and Jimmie Bell on Throwback 105.3 Columbus's Throw Biz. Zach, what up, bro?
What's crackling, bro? I need to get a beard brush. My beard looks.
You are looking a little fluffy. Yeah, I ain't gonna cap.
Jeez.
Yeah, little fluffy in the beard.
I'm gonna get it together. I already got these cheeks. You know what I'm saying? These chubby cheeks.
I mean, we'll see if we can get this sponsored by Just for Men too. Anyway, so look, got him.
I'm keeping my grades, baby. I'm keeping them.
Look, man, we got an off week this week. I don't know. To me, I think these early off weeks are kind of they're purposeless because we're not even in competition in the Big Ten yet. You know what I mean? We're still non-conference, and yet we're taking an off week. I don't know. I don't like it. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll tell you this. For us, though, again, when it comes to some things, I think it's actually an incredible. No, I guess you're right. But you can make it a major benefit. You could almost make it like a professional preseason, especially for us because we need it. Right?
Why?
You played 2 teams that you needed to see how you were going to look against competition.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Think about the difference that we looked between Akron and Western Michigan, the smoothness from coaches down, right?
Right.
So now what you get is you get a week to take those 2 weeks of film, try to, mold some things, switch some things, make some adjustments, and you can work on those adjustments from a grind perspective. So off weeks are like a grind, bro, because you don't have anything. All you got is classes. You don't have to work. You don't have a short week. You got Monday. Really, you got Sunday through the next Sunday before you get back into game week, right? Which starts on that next Sunday. So they get to really, really hammer some things out and grind some things out. So which could be a major benefit because you had two games that you just kind of, you can kind of look at as scrimmages.
Okay.
You get back in the mix. You come back with another game that you can kind of call a scrimmage. And then you get into the meat of the Big Ten. If I'm not mistaken, the first game is against doggone Oregon.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So it's going to be interesting. So you're right. To keep the consistency, especially how regular college football is generally in before they added a couple new games. That bye week usually comes a little later in the season.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying, but still, I'm like, to me, I feel like it can also stop the momentum. Am I wrong?
It most certainly could. But at the same time, it can help you build upon some things. And again, I would definitely say, let's hope that the momentum doesn't stop for the defense because the defense looks consistent and accelerated.
Yeah.
The offense, you can still tell it still needs work.
Yeah, I agree. Marshall is the 21st, and then actually before is Michigan State. So we go to play Sparty. Yeah, go up to Lansing on the 28th.
So we're a way away. We're green away, then green away.
Yeah. Marshall is here.
No, I mean Michigan State. Michigan State's away, and then Oregon's away.
Oh, right. Yeah. Eugene is on October 12th.
So it's 2 back-to-back away games, right?
No, we got Iowa between that. Iowa on 10-5.
Okay, we got a tough shoot. Yeah, it's just gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna get tough. I'm not saying we're not gonna blow teams out. I'm not saying we're not gonna look strong and smooth, but from here
Right.
on out, it's we're in the mix. We
I
got to
mean,
show up, or we got an opportunity to get upset.
looking at the schedule, I mean, we're at Penn State on November 2nd, so we always know that'll be a tough one.
Michigan State looks solid. They look more solid than people would think. And again,
Yeah.
we talked about this, I think, the first week before Akron. The thing about what happened with the transfer portal, it makes a lot of teams better faster. You see what I'm saying? Because generally, when you go in the transfer portal, you're not just grabbing players. You're generally grabbing more mature guys, older guys.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? That's why Michigan State, who we would think is down in the dumps, their past 2 games, they didn't look too bad.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Iowa looks better on offense, but they're always solid on defense, right?
Always, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Then we go to Oregon, right? So these teams, Purdue is solid on both sides of the ball. Indiana looks crazy explosive in their 2 games that they've had. You see what I'm saying? So, should we win? Yes. And I'm gonna give us credit even for the blowouts. I'm not going to take it away from the teams that we play if we tap their tail. You know what I'm saying? Because they're still solid teams.
Yeah.
Listen, think about it. We've seen how these other big time teams performed against lesser talent. Wisconsin, Alabama, Oregon, they've all had a tough time. We're one of the few teams that's actually haven't had a tough time yet.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's what we talked about a couple of weeks ago too, about how every team is going to give us their all. I mean, this is their Super Bowl for a lot of them. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is definitely going to be, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tougher than I think a lot of people think.
It's going to be a dope run. It's going to be a very interesting run.
I agree. Jimmy, what are you doing during the off week, man?
Off week? Yeah, that's it. Nothing.
Take it off.
We normally do our little pregame down at Gala Social Park downtown, our pregame tailgate party with Dougie Doug and myself. We're going to chill out and then back onto my podcast on Monday, Thursday, and then you and I back on Friday.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Social media, give it to him real quick.
Social media, Jimmy Bell Empowers, Instagram, Jimmy Bell, the know-it-alls, and Jimmy Bell Speaker Jimmy Bell on Facebook. You guys check your Bizoy is out, as Justin Fuchsia would say.
Really, Justin Fuchsia along with his flower shirt.
For my radio people, he doesn't just have a flower on as a garment.
Thank you.
It's fuchsia. It's very cute.
Thank you.
It matches his nose. It matches Jay. You know what I'm saying? It literally matches.
Why you gotta bring my nose into this, bro?
Right, I got on a black shirt. It matches my black beard. You know what I'm saying? So you're coordinating with your skin. I'm coordinating with mine.
Because in time and our clothes gotta coordinate. Got it.
Coordinate.